guys, it's B Scott. Welcome to another episode of Ride Along. I've got B-Man with me.
What up?
Last Ride Along of 2023.
For real this time.
For real this time, yes. We got a pack show for you. We're going to talk about our resolutions. We're going to talk about a bunch of other stuff.
Year review.
Yes. Also, we're currently on Dundas Street in Toronto, which is about to be renamed. So we're going to talk about... So we're going to share our thoughts with you on that. So yeah, let's get right into it. As you all know, we always start off with our wrestling recap of the week.
Yeah,
the last 2 weeks, sorry.
Well, nothing too crazy happened. CM Punk officially signed with Raw, and he's entering the Royal Rumble. So far, he and Cody, I think, are the only two to declare themselves in the Rumble. And I think I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. I don't know why some guys just get to say, "Oh, I'm in the Rumble," and then other guys have to qualify. Like they go out there and Pierce like, "I want to be in the Rumble," and Pierce is like, "No, you got to qualify."
I want to be in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
You want to be in the Royal Rumble?
Yeah. Well, we're not wrestlers.
Who says we can't be?
That's true. I mean, they had Logan Paul in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's and also coming up, not next, well, the first week of the new year, WWE's got 3 different specials happening. They're having Day 1 Raw. They're having NXT New Year's Eve. Yeah, I know. NXT New Year's Evil, and they're having SmackDown New Year's Revolution. So they're taking like 3 different specials or pay-per-view concepts and putting them all as special shows for the new year. So that's gonna be interesting. So Day 1 apparently has at least 2 title matches set. We've got Rhea Ripley versus Ivy Nile. That should be good, and I think Rhea's gonna retain though. And then we have Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now that one to me is a little harder to call because they might have Drew win, but if he's just going to be a transitional champion because they're setting up for Seth versus Punk at WrestleMania for the title, not that I personally feel like that needs the title, but if that's where they're going, I'd rather Drew not win the title. I don't want Drew to be a transitional champion. He deserves better than that. What do you think, E. Scott?
I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't think he deserves that. Like, it'd be cool to see him win the title again, but not if he's gonna be a transitional champion.
I like fans, and I think Triple H has said this before. I'm a fan of long title reigns. Like, you want to make sure that you have a legit champion. Right?
Well, then you must love Roman Reigns.
Okay, well, that's a little bit too long. Certain people can do that. Certain people can't. Like, okay, like if you're holding the title, a couple months at least, unless you're Roman Reigns. Yeah, that's just what I mean. Like, because like you want to build up your champions, right?
Yeah, you want
because if you have a champion that win lose, that's good for some people, but I really want to see them build storylines, build up. You know what I mean? Because like when you're a champion, you're supposed to be better than everyone, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. You're supposed to. And
also, off topic, is Miz face? Because I've been
certainly seems that way.
Because like he faced
Gunther that was a good match
Gunther,
too.
And I don't know, is he face heel?
Well, I think that's where they're going. I think they're definitely leaning towards him being face, and he had a banger match.
You want an amazing thing to eat? That place right there.
What's that? Apache Burgers. Yeah. Interesting.
But
yeah, so that was
going way past it. So.
Yeah, I know. I don't think we'll be done anytime soon. What was I gonna say? Yeah, no, that match he had with Gunther was actually really good, but apparently now he can't challenge for the title as long as Gunther's champion anymore. Which, you know, I kind of, it's alright. At least we're not going to see like a million different rematches between them.
Yeah.
So, that was like I said, that was a really good match. If there was just like that little bit of doubt that Miz would actually win, I'd have been a lot more into the match. But like, there were a couple of hope spots, but I didn't really ever think that Gunther wasn't going to retain his title, honestly. But, what else happened? They had the Creeds versus Judgment Day for the tag titles. That was a good match, but I really don't like the Creeds finisher, the Brutus ball off the top rope. It just looks so Like it looks like it goes so wrong at any time and like seriously injure somebody. They should really retire that quickly and go back to their old NXT finisher. Like even if it was just a singles finisher, but they gave the guy like kind of like a slam. I forget how it went exactly, but they give the guy like a kind of like a power slam, like a twisting power slam kind of thing, and then they clothesline him when he was trying to get up off the ground. That was pretty decent. That was pretty impactful, decent move, but they're not doing that anymore, so oh well. What else happened?
I think Dundas is left, it saying.
50, 5150,
Oh.
5186. I think it
So is
might have to take a U-turn out. I don't know.
Okay, fine.
Not really familiar with this area,
Me
folks.
neither. Fuck, I'm doing great. Anyways, sorry, go ahead.
What else happened? Well, it looks like I don't know, because AJ Styles came back, which was awesome. I think it was last week. AJ Styles finally came back. He's looking jacked too.
I seen
The J and AJ stands for jacked. Alan Jacked Styles.
that.
But yeah, so he came back and he was attacking. He attacked Roman, he attacked the Bloodline and stuff. But then like it was weird because like LA Knight was in there too. Okay. So basically, let me start at the beginning. It was Jimmy Uso versus Randy Orton, and Orton won after like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. He won clean with an RKO, and then Solo come out. The LA Knight stopped him. He was beating up Solo, and then Roman come out. He was beating up on Orton, and then Solo came down. Jimmy was there, and then we're beating up. LA Knight comes down, then AJ Styles comes out from the crowd. Bam! Phenomenal forearm. It's Roman Reigns, so that was pretty awesome. And then Knight, Orton, and Styles were all in the ring, and I think Knight just like kind of like pushed Styles back out of the way, and so AJ just turns him around and starts beating on him, starts punching him. So I don't know what they're doing with that, honestly. I guess we'll find out. Obviously, this is being taped during SmackDown right now on the Friday, so I don't know what's going on yet. Maybe we'll find out. But yeah, so that happened. NXT, they had their last premium live event of the year, which was Deadline, and they had some decent matches. The North American title match was good. New champion Dragon Lee. So that was interesting. Even though poor Wesley had to vacate his match because it was a back injury or whatever, so he's out for God knows how long.
JD McDonough's out of Judgment Day.
No, that was just a joke. He said. Priest said it was just a joke.
Yeah.
It might be. He might be. I don't know. That'd be kind of funny. But what else happened? So okay, I have a bit of a gripe with the men's Iron Survivor match they had this year. And like the match itself was great. There's a lot of cool spots, like Braun Breaker coming in and just wrecking everybody, getting 3 falls in less than a minute. That was insane. That was so fun. But I like the fact that he won. By he I mean Trick Williams. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. I like it. Whoop. It's so fun. It's so infectious. But I like the fact that he won, don't get me wrong, and he's going to be facing Ilya Dragunov at New Year's Evil for the title. But what I didn't like is all the falls that were in the match, because I tallied it up and there was 15 falls in 25 minutes. 15. Like, you seen some of these guys you see in the ring, like it takes like 25 minutes for them to be beaten one time. But some reason somehow all of them get beat like 2, 3, 4, 5 times in 25 minutes. That was too many there was too many falls, I think. But yeah, Trick Williams won. He's facing, like I said, Dragunov. Obviously Dragunov retained against Baron Corbin, so we're gonna see that match. And then Ridge Holland came out this past NXT. Apparently he's back down at NXT now, and I think it's a worked angle, but he injured Dragunov in their match. So I don't know what they're doing for the title, if the Dragunov's going to be in storyline, if Dragunov's going to be rared to go or not. I guess we'll see. But yeah, that was pretty much all I wanted to talk about as far as wrestling goes. Like I said, I'm looking forward to day one. I'm looking forward to New Year's Evil and SmackDown New Year's Revolution. Those are going to be good shows, I think. So that's it for that, I think, pretty much.
No more wrestling?
I don't think so, unless you got
I
something.
can't think of anything either. I just hope that Randy
Shocker.
Orton has a match at WrestleMania and he becomes champion.
That would be cool. I kind of want him to be...
Or CM Punk.
I kind of wouldn't mind seeing him versus Reigns versus Cody in a triple threat match.
Yeah.
Be pretty sick.
Yeah, yo, do you want to do Dundas first? Or do you want to do the resolutions?
Let's do Dundas. I'll talk about that real quick. So it shouldn't take too long.
Yeah, so Dundas Street here in Toronto, Canada has been renamed.
It's going to be renamed.
Going to be renamed because the man it was named after, Henry Dundas. Now, there's different theories. He either was a part of the slave trade or he supported it, allegedly. But there's also people who say that he was against it, but like it took him a while to fight back. And anyways, people in the black community are extremely offended, so they want...
Are they though?
So, well, according to the news in City Hall.
Oh yeah, they're so reliable.
So, I have to give people a backstory. We have American viewers and people who may not understand, right? So anyways, so it went to council, they passed it. The big controversial thing was it was going to cost too much, because you got to understand, there's a subway station named after, two actually subway stations, although for Dundas Station, Toronto Metropolitan University, formerly Ryerson University,
change that too.
agreed to pay for the change of Dundas Station as long as they named it TMU Station, so then they would own the naming rights, of course.
Yeah.
Dundas West, TTC would have to pay. But anyways, extremely controversial because, as you can see, Dundas is a very long street, and you have to change everyone's address, all the businesses. There's a couple schools. There's a bunch of stuff they'd have to change. But anyways, they passed it. Also, Young Dundas Square has been changed.
Well, that kind of makes
some
sense.
Guyanese name. I don't know what it's there for. But I have my own opinion on that. But yeah, no, so we're gonna share our opinions. I guess I'll go first. So I understand where they're coming from. I do. Change is a good thing. Yes, like the price is a little bit concerning, but you know what? Change is a good thing. You know, I'm for it. I'm debatable about the name. Maybe it could be an indigenous name. Maybe we call it Terry Fox Street. I don't know. Let's give it a proper name. I don't agree with the Young Dundas Square new name. I think they could have done better. In fact, actually, the president and the vice president of the board of Dundas Square resigned and said because there was no public consultation on the name. I do think they could have done a bit of a public consultation. I would have liked to see Dundas Square named maybe something else. Tiananmen Square. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I had to put that out there.
That was a good one.
No, we do not want to name it that. Yeah, no, there's so many different things we could call it. I can't think of any right now, but yeah, let us know your thoughts. But yeah, so I agree with it, but I think there could have been a lot more consultation. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting. How about you, B-Man?
Well, first of all, how's the city gonna pay for it when they're essentially broke? You say you hear them saying, like they say on council,
yeah.
Oh, we're running a deficit, so basically you're essentially broke, is what you're saying.
Cities technically can't run deficits, but
that means they're broke.
Yeah.
That means they're broke. Deficit, call whatever you want.
But you know what
broke.
Olivia Chow does? She asks for more money from the government.
Yeah, they got. I think they got far worse problems to worry about than a freaking name change. Oh, that figures.
Well, I know where we are now. We're near Tail the Junction, and there's Jumbo Burger. I know exactly where we are now.
Figures I kind of need to go to 7-Eleven. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. But I think the name change is kind of dumb because you need to learn from history. Why people need to, because if you don't learn history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Right.
So changing the name, people who come up, people who are born after the name change, they're not gonna know. I mean, the schools aren't gonna fucking teach them. Let's be real. Most schools are worried about is what gender is the teacher today. Who did she have relations with last night? Or he, or it, or Zim, or Zer, or whatever the fuck. You know? It's like, oh, what gender are you today, little Billy? Kind of thing. That's what the fucking schools are worried about. Not teaching history, like, you know. And if you change, like I said, if you keep changing the names, you keep erasing history, you keep rewriting history, nobody's gonna know anything, and we're gonna end up making the same mistakes we did before.
Although to be fair, they did announce in 2 years there is going to be a mandatory Holocaust education program. So they are slowly adding stuff like that.
Gee, I wonder why they're specifically that.
All different types. Because actually, so I went to the National Holocaust Museum in the States. They also had a portion to with the other genocide in, I think it was, I can't say the name of the country. Like, it's in the Middle East, or somewhere in Africa. Rwanda. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Rwandan genocide.
Yeah. Like they had a thing in there about it. So like, I don't think it would only be about the World War II. I mean, the Holocaust.
Well, I should hope not.
So yeah. So that's good at what you're doing.
Like I said, I just find the name change stupid, especially when the city's broke. Like, how the fuck are you gonna pay for it?
No. Like I never really
worry
think
about the fucking. Sorry, just one last thing. Worry about the fucking housing first.
Absolutely. You know, like I think that there are other priorities. Now, here's another thing to it too, and I've actually said this, I think, to you numerous times. I get. Okay, so like it was a part of their anti-racism strategy. Totally supportive. But here's what I'm gonna say. I support anti-racism. Let's stop it. Let's do that. But you actually have to educate people.
Exactly.
That's to be the priority.
Exactly.
Changing names and stuff like that is good, but that's not teaching people to not be racist.
Yeah.
You actually have to have a public education campaign. You actually have to educate. And it's also, like you said, like in the schools, they have to teach it.
Yeah.
That's how you rid this world of hate, like in general, if you educate people. So then they know why people act this way and why we have different genders and why we have that. If you do proper education, that will end racism. That should have been the priority. I get, yes, we need to change names of stuff. Yes, why are there certain things named this? But that shouldn't be the biggest priority.
No, it shouldn't.
That's not going to end racism. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. The name change is stupid.
In a way, yes. But I do see why.
Because it's a part of history. Like, you want to teach people to not be racist.
Yes.
So then, like, how's changing the name of the street gonna teach them anything?
Along with anti-racism teachings, because that may trigger someone if they see that, like, a street is named after someone.
Honestly,
who enslaved their ancestors, right?
If a street name's what triggers somebody, they need to reassess their priorities.
Listen, we had a kid the other day who was triggered. He was Jewish about learning about the Holocaust because he had family who were killed, right? So certain stuff.
Oh, okay.
Triggers trauma, right?
Okay, fine, but shouldn't he have learned about it from his folks already?
Yes,
and get to the point where
it can still be traumatizing, you know, like I said.
The only way it would traumatize somebody is if they're not used to it.
I went to the National Museum. That is a very graphic but extremely moving experience. You got to take a minute after you leave there. You know what I mean? Like, it's good that we learn that, but it's a lot, and like you have to see it to actually believe what happened. Like, and in any of these situations. Like, even like with the LGBTQ2 community, if you actually learn, I kind of want to go to Stonewall next time I go to New York. I actually want to learn about what happened there, because you know what? Once you actually learn about this stuff, you know why they act the way they are. I'll give you a perfect example. My mom watched the CBC documentary on the residential schools that we've had here. You think, oh, well, it's just a residential school. If you watch and you listen to the survivors and they show you reenactments of what happened, you won't believe it. My mom couldn't believe it. And I watched it, and yes, it was a little bit disturbing, because like a lot of these kids had learning disabilities, and they were treated like how they were. And dude, like, if something like that happened to you, like, you'd be traumatized too. So like, it's very easy to say, oh yeah, like, you can get over it, whatever. But like, if you've actually gone through a traumatizing experience, even let's say.
Okay, no.
Sorry, yeah.
Let me just say something about that.
Yeah.
Okay, if you personally went through something traumatizing, I understand completely. Right. But if it's something that happened several decades or hundreds of years ago, to somebody like, say I don't know, maybe your great uncle or something, like somebody you don't even know, like you've heard about, your family's told you about them or whatever, but you don't personally know them, and you haven't personally experienced it yourself. I don't think that should be caused to be traumatized by it. But you're also trying to or make triggered by it. Sorry, not traumatized. Triggered by it. Better for your people too. Like, if you want to make a change, because there's a lot of systemic racism. Okay, and that's fine, but that's why it's important for people to teach and remember history, not try and erase it. That is true, to an extent. But so like, here's an example. Let's say, Brandon, you go on a bank and it gets robbed. Okay. You don't think that would traumatize you if someone walked in and freaking held a gun to your head? I don't know, like, everyone's different, but me, like, it would. Okay, yeah, because, but that directly happened to me. Now, if say I had kids, and then they had kids, and then they had kids, right, should those kids be traumatized if they walk into a bank? Maybe, because it also could happen to them. But it hasn't. Yeah. But it happened to me, not them. Yeah. If this kid you're talking about, you said he was triggered by the Holocaust or something, right? If he experienced like hatred, like some kid comes up to him and tries to like hurt him or says mean things to him, like, okay, words are words. Right. If he was triggered by that, it's just like, if somebody said something along the lines of like, well, actually, I'm not even going to say it here, but if somebody said something really mean about his family in the Holocaust, okay, maybe that could be a little traumatizing, that'd be a little triggering. I get it, but just learning about it, if you weren't directly involved in it, if you weren't directly in it, I don't think it should be grounds to be triggering. But as you said, maybe somebody bullied him and called him names. Did somebody bully him? I don't know. It's not my business. It's not my business to ask them. But yeah, like, some things are more traumatizing. Should get to the roots of the cause of why it was triggering. But then again, if you see someone from your own race or whatever going through something, you may think that it could easily be you one day. If it's something that's happening in the present day, not something that happens 80 years ago. So I'll give you an example. So let's talk about the black community. Sorry, go ahead. If something was happening, let's like right now with the whole thing going over in the Gaza Strip, right? Okay. Somebody's affected by that. Maybe they got family members over there. Yeah. They're triggered by that. They're traumatized by that. That I completely understand. Of course. 100%. That's awful shit that's going on over there. I completely get it. But if we're talking about the Holocaust, something that happened almost a century ago, that's a little different in my eyes. But there are modern day genocides going on. Yes, and if the kid you were talking about was traumatized about those things and triggered by those things, Jewish, I understand. Right? Look what's happening in Gaza right now. Yeah, I know. And in Israel. So it's kind of happening. Right, but you didn't say about that. You said about the Holocaust, something that happened 80 years ago.
But this is somewhat tied into that because actually there's a lot of their people.
But it's not exactly the same thing, but
anti-Semitism, same kind of thing. Like there's
that's another thing too. I don't think just legitimate criticism of any race should be classified as racism or anti-Semitism or what have you. If you're saying stuff just to be hateful, that's one thing. But if you're
saying something about someone's race, creed, or religion, or whatever,
just to be a hateful dick, yes, that's bad.
Yeah.
If it's a legitimate criticism about a certain person or that person's race, that shouldn't be grounds to say, oh, that's racist or that's anti-Semitic. That's this, that's that.
Now. I think we made the turn right.
Yeah, we're on Ross's files.
Right, yeah.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. We're not exactly done with it, but
yeah.
My point is, like I said, if it happened way in the past and you weren't even close to being born, you work in a high school, right? Or is it a middle school?
I'm in a middle school right now.
Middle school. Okay, yeah. So a kid was born 12, 13 years ago, tops. Shit happened 60 plus years before he was born.
Yeah. But he may have people he knows that lived through it. And honestly, even hearing those stories may even traumatize you. Everyone is different, right? Like, I don't know. So my thing is,
and again, if it was triggered about the things going on in Gaza right now, I completely understand.
That also could be tied in, but hey,
because he probably
business,
could have.
Right? Like, I'm not there to ask. Like, we're just told,
okay.
Yeah, I know what I mean. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Because actually, like in the school.
I think we got way off topic here.
Well, no, it is kind of tied in, like, to the renaming of Dundas because it's all about racism, right? So, like,
that's what I'm saying. The history,
getting off topic. But
history shouldn't be a race. It should be fucking.
The point is, Brandon, it's a bigger issue.
Yeah.
Everything is a bigger issue. That was my point. So yes, we agree. Renaming streets, it is a way of anti-racism, but not at the top of the list. You know what I mean?
I would argue erasing a racist history is far more racist than keeping it.
Like making a memorial.
If you want to educate people, then don't erase the past.
Yeah.
Teach them about it.
Yeah.
Say, this is what happened. This is why it's wrong. That's why we don't do it anymore.
Yeah. And
don't be like, oh, this is bad. We should get rid of this. We shouldn't have it around anymore because then people might find out about it and they might get triggered by it.
Education is very key. Exactly. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with you. And I said that's what I was saying.
That's why I say it should be.
To have the memorials and stuff like that. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. And that's another thing too. People tearing down fucking statues and memorials and shit.
But then again, if these people supported things that were bad, we should.
That was a product of their time, though.
But do you think we should have statues of Hitler? No.
Not Hitler, but like take John A. McDonald. People are staring down statues of him.
But why don't we put up a statue of Terry Fox?
Are you sure we don't have statues up of him?
Not in Toronto, we don't. But, or how about we put some up of some Indigenous people?
Well, we do. Just that they're not tearing those down. They're tearing down the.
Well, because they didn't do anything wrong. Because it's their land technically. They have the treaties. They have all that. Why don't we have any gay rights people, of trans people? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of human rights.
Well, did they found Canada?
No, but they fought for human rights in this country.
Okay, well then tell somebody to put a statue up of them then. Put up your own fucking statues. Don't tear other statues down.
Yeah.
Don't tear other statues down.
That's what they're trying to do.
No, they're trying to tear down all the statues of the people that are so-called racist because they lived in a different time and people thought differently back then. That's why I say you teach people about that. You teach them it's wrong, and you move on. You don't erase the history. Change is one thing, but don't like it's like I keep saying, don't go erasing the past.
Right.
Teach people about it.
You can still find him in history.
Yeah, who's teaching the fucking history nowadays?
I mean, you can go to a library. Listen, you can still go in a library and find a book about Hitler.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's important to learn about that shit, so you can be like, okay, no, don't do that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, that guy was clearly bad, so obviously I'm not going to do what he did.
That's it.
But if you erase Hitler entirely, people aren't going to know about it. They're going to be like, hey, you know what's a good idea?
But I get our point, though.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think renaming a street isn't really the biggest priority.
Yeah, not even close.
But yeah, so we want your thoughts. This is a very, I don't want to say controversial. It's a very difficult topic to talk about, you know, because like there's a lot of different opinions, and that's a good thing. It's good to have different opinions, and it's good to have healthy debates. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hear that, YouTube?
Like we are. Healthy debates. Healthy debates. I don't hate Brandon. He's my closest friend.
Yeah, I don't hate you either.
One of my closest friends. This is called having a healthy debate. I may not agree with everything he says. He may not agree with everything I say. But at the end of the day, we're still friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
it'd be kind of boring if we had the same opinion on everything.
If everyone was thinking the same in the world, it would be a boring society.
Oh, yeah.
We're already at Dufferin. Holy shit.
Well, I mean, we've been going for half an hour.
Holy shit already.
Yep.
So let's move on.
Yeah, let's...
Speaking of 2024, let's move on to our resolutions.
Well, let's review 2023 first, because I know
okay.
we did a lot of cool stuff this year. I personally...
Like what? I don't even remember.
Well, for starters, well, not for starters, but I went to finally see Aqua for the first time ever.
Yes, you did.
What else did I do? I went to, I went to Comic-Con again. I went to Fan Expo for the first time ever. Got to meet a few voice actors that I had been a fan of for years. I got to meet them. At Comic-Con, I got to meet Lita. And of course, the woman who did the woman who was the Yellow Ranger in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So that was awesome. What else did I do this year? Let's see.
We did our usual screamers, so
yeah, I'm talking about shit that I haven't done before. I'm trying to think, what else?
We went to the Jurassic Park thing.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I didn't know there's just something up here at Beaufort Court.
Yeah, I think there should be one up at Bathurst too.
There's one at Bathurst too, yeah.
But yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff I did I've never done before. Like I said, Fan Expo, Aqua concert. That was awesome. I loved it. What else? What else? Something. Can't quite remember what else I did, but anyway. So that's what I can think of for right now. If I come up with anything else, I'll... Anyway, so what did you do, B. Scott?
For the year, a lot. A lot of music work with Alex and DME.
Oh yeah, Nickelback. First Nickelback concert.
We seen that at TIFF.
Yeah, that was
so
great.
Me and Alex, we did a bunch of shows. We released a bunch of songs. We do have a new album dropping on New Year's Day. Long Live the King. So that's a great way to start 2024. We did our first Ontario tour with 416 Solo, the Canada Loud tour. Amazing. A lot of different shows. Went to a lot of different concerts. Just did a lot.
Yeah, you're a manager now. How's that working out for you?
So I'm actually on a little bit. So this was going to tie in to my resolution. I'm actually on a break right now. Like I'm taking a break from the music to focus on myself and my mental health. I did a huge announcement on Facebook and stuff. So, but yeah, like it's going pretty well. You know, I had a couple of clients and then kind of like I've really been keeping up. But yeah, like I've been working with Alex. It's been doing very well.
Would you find it's more or less stressful than your day job?
Not as stressful, but it can be. There's just and also there's a lot of drama that comes with the job because people like to talk. Because some people, when you do better and you become a big name, and other people feel that they should be on your level, but they haven't earned it yet, they get jealous and they try to bring you down.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And I've also had to, and I'm not going to talk about it, I also had to drop some people this year.
Yeah.
I've had to reconsider some friends. Again, I'm going to touch on all this.
Comes with the territory.
My 2024 mindset. But yeah, it's been a tough year, you know. But at the same time, it's been good. Hoping for a positive 2024. But yeah, like I'll save that for the 2024 part. I mean, the resolutions. But yeah, you know.
You went to Finger 11 too, right?
Just this past Saturday, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, you've been to a lot of concerts this year.
I do, man. I love it. I finally got places. I mean, people to go with. So.
I think I've been to more concerts personally myself this year than any other year.
I also went to Washington D.C. for my first time. I got to see the White House and all that stuff.
Do you need bulletproof windows?
No. I went in the summer. There's no protest. I got to see.
No, not a protest, but anyway. Yeah.
But yeah, and then hoping for 2024 to go to Boston, maybe, or maybe Chicago.
Going to Boston.
Boston, Chicago, yeah.
Going to Boston.
I have a couple of things on my list. You know?
Cool.
Yeah.
So I think unless you got anything else to talk about for 2023, 2024, myself personally, I don't really have that many. I find like trying to make resolutions is just like, I don't want to say dumb, but for me it's easier not to, because then it just ends up being like, oh yeah, I was gonna do this, oh now I feel bad because I didn't get it to do it for whatever reason, or I didn't do it, I'm too lazy, kind of thing. Like I remember a couple of years ago, I thought I was gonna try and learn Japanese. I didn't end up working out too well. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah,
Are we going into our resolutions now?
Yeah, I'm basically saying like I don't really have anything because, like I said, I keep trying to make them and then I keep failing for one reason or another, so there's really no point.
Yeah.
For me personally, I mean, if you got some.
Oh, I have kind of a bit, but they're kind of all over the place. Yeah, no, so my 2024, I'm really just trying to focus on me and my personal life. I've been through a lot this year. I'm just going to try to focus on my mental health, get myself hopefully into good physical shape. I just turned 29. I'm 30 next year. My goal is
a whole different beast.
Is that I want to live a healthy life in my 30s. So I'm definitely going to be looking at trying to get myself into better shape. Trying to save a bit more money. You know, yeah. And
you're too nice, man.
Well, no, I have to live. But anyways, yes, I'm also too nice. Great fucking tie in there. Like I was saying, I had to cut some people off in 2023, so going into 2024, I'm just gonna worry about me. If you're on my, and I'm gonna go on the highway down here, honestly. If that's
okay, well, whichever.
But yeah, worry about me. See some friends who I haven't seen in a while because I've been so busy with the manager stuff. Like I said, hopefully try to go to Boston or Chicago. Yeah, just try to save up some money, and then hopefully maybe later on in the year try to get back into the music a little bit more. Yeah, just focus on me. That's my main goal of 2024.
Cool.
I don't know what that means yet, but I'm gonna hopefully
part of the fun is finding out.
What I'm gonna say is this time next year, be in a better state of mind and be in a better place in my personal life. Yeah, so that's what, and then also next year, like I said, I turn 30, and then I can live my 30s happily, healthy, because I kind of have a plan going into my 30s. So yeah, that's kind of my resolution for 2024.
Nice. That was a good one. Yeah, so I guess that's pretty much
this is
talk
like
about
our longest ride along for a while. Also,
yeah, no kidding.
I know we've been saying for a while that we've been trying to cancel. I mean, not cancel. Maybe get rid of ride along. I'm gonna keep it around for now because let's see what we can talk about. You know, and yeah, we'll go from there. Maybe I'll even make a new YouTube show in the new year. You know, like along with ride along, and yeah, like, that was another thing too. Like about 2024, I kind of want to get back into doing my YouTube. I haven't really had time to do that, you know. Try to find some.
You've been busy with your.
Well, that's the thing. Like
Why don't you maybe like film some of the shows you're working on? Like when you're at a show, are you just
Oh,
like
I
are you
do.
busy?
Sorry.
I was just gonna say like when you're at shows with Alex or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you like are you always just busy trying to like do this and that, or are you actually just there like in the moment like watching the show?
I'm just there vibing.
Yeah,
I
so
do
maybe...
record his set, but like I do get what you're saying, almost like a vlog.
Yeah.
A lot of bands are doing that. I've been talking about that like with a bunch of people for a while now. That acts like we've been meaning to do it. It's just like a matter of timing, and like we're always drinking and so and like we forget. That is a great idea. We've been talking about that. But I've also been thinking about maybe going back to my gaming channel. I also have my food review channel with Brady. I have a lot of different options. Also, I did concert reviews, which I should really do more of, and just talking politics. I can do a bunch of shit, but yeah.
Nice.
Just stay tuned for 2024, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year.
Maybe I'll make a career shift and I'll do something else in music. Yeah.
All right, so that wraps up probably the longest ride-along we've had in several months.
Yeah, guys. Happy holidays.
Yeah,
Merry
Christmas.
New Year.
Happy go to hell.
Yeah, and also Happy New Year. Peace.
See you guys.